For decades, South Korea relied on American jets to defend its skies. F-4 Phantoms, F-5 Tigers, designs born in the Cold War. But everything just changed. South Korea's Defense Acquisition Program Administration, DAPA, has officially certified the KF-21 Boramae as combat-ready. Not a prototype, not a test platform, a production standard fighter cleared for real air-to-air warfare. This is the moment Seoul stops buying someone else's jets and starts selling its own. And the Indo-Pacific will never be quite the same. Let's break down exactly what this certification means, because it's bigger than most headlines suggest. DAPA confirmed the first mass-produced KF-21, tail number 2601, completed over 1,600 test flights and was validated across roughly 13,000 separate performance conditions. That's an enormous amount of data, proving the aircraft works, not just in theory, but in the kind of extreme conditions a real combat aircraft faces. The clearance officially certifies the KF-21 Block Y for interceptor operations. That means air superiority missions, supersonic combat maneuvers, aerial refueling, and most importantly, beyond visual range missile employment. This is a fighter that can see you before you see it, and fire before you know it's there. Critically, this aircraft rolled out of Korea Aerospace Industries in Sacheon on March 25th. It flew for the first time in April, and within weeks, combat certification. That is an extraordinarily compressed timeline, and it tells you Seoul is in a serious hurry. Why the rush? Because the regional threat environment is accelerating. North Korean missile development, Chinese airpower expansion, a shifting Indo-Pacific, military balance. South Korea needs this jet operational. Now here's where South Korea's strategy gets really interesting. They didn't build an all-purpose fighter first. They built a hunter. The KF-21 Block I is deliberately designed around one mission above all others: intercept and destroy hostile aircraft before they reach South Korean airspace. This isn't an accident. It's a doctrine. Seoul looked at its aging fleet of F-4 Phantoms and F-5 Tigers, aircraft designed 60 years ago, and asked a simple question: what do we need most urgently? The answer was clear: a modern, fast, high-altitude interceptor capable of winning the first engagements of any future conflict. Air superiority is the foundation. Without it, ground forces are exposed, naval assets are vulnerable, and strike missions are impossible. The KF-21 Block I focuses entirely on owning that foundation first: strike capability, reconnaissance, maritime attack. Those come later with Block 2. But right now, South Korea is building a wall in the sky, and that wall just went live. So what exactly makes the KF-21 dangerous? Let's talk hardware. The aircraft carries MBDA Meteor beyond visual range missiles. And if you know anything about modern air combat, that name means something. The Meteor is widely regarded as one of the most capable air-to-air missiles on the planet. Unlike older radar-guided missiles that lose energy as they travel, the Meteor uses a ramjet engine to sustain high speed all the way to the target. At long range, it remains lethal even against a maneuvering aircraft. The KF-21 mounts 4 Meteors in semi-recessed fuselage stations, keeping them partially inside the aircraft to reduce radar visibility. You get the firepower of external carriage with less of the radar signature penalty. For close-range combat, the aircraft carries Deal Iris-T infrared missiles, heat-seeking weapons designed for high off-boresight engagements. In a turning fight, these are dangerous weapons at any angle. The radar is the Hanwha Systems AC, an active electronically scanned array developed inside South Korea. This is a major achievement. Most nations buy AESA radar from the United States or Europe. South Korea built its own. It reduces dependence on foreign technology that could be cut off during a crisis, and it gives Seoul full control over future upgrades and software. The airframe itself uses what analysts call a semi-stealth design. It's not a full stealth aircraft. Like the F-35, there are no fully internal weapons bays, but the intake alignment, blended fuselage shaping, and recessed weapon stations meaningfully reduce the radar cross-section compared to a conventional 4th-generation fighter. Combined with the twin General Electric F414 engines, license produced in South Korea, the aircraft exceeds Mach 1.8. That's a fast, quiet-ish, well-armed interceptor. The KF-21 is more than a weapon. It's a statement. South Korea launched this program in 2015. 10 years later, combat certification. For a nation that was almost entirely dependent on foreign fighters, this is a generational transformation. Think about what foreign dependence actually means in a crisis. Software updates require foreign approval. Weapons integration is controlled by another government. Spare parts, sustainment, and upgrades are subject to export restrictions. In wartime, that's a vulnerability. The KF-21 eliminates those choke points for South Korea's core interceptor mission. Domestically developed radar, domestically integrated weapons, domestically produced airframe, maintained and upgraded entirely under Seoul's control. The Republic of Korea Air Force plans to receive the first production KF-21 in the second half of 2026. 40 blocker aircraft are coming, 20 by 2027, 20 more by 2028. By 2032, South Korea plans to field approximately 120 KF-21s in total, including 80 Block 2 multi-role variants. That's a serious air force, built at home. Here's the geopolitical wildcard. South Korea isn't just building this for itself. The KF-21 is entering the global fighter export market, and it's entering with a compelling pitch. Advanced beyond visual range missiles, modern AESA radar, semi-stealth survivability, and a price point significantly below a fully fifth-generation platform like the F-35. For middle-power air forces across Asia, the Middle East, and Eastern Europe, countries that want modern interception capability but can't afford or politically access American stealth jets, the KF-21 is suddenly a very interesting option. South Korea already has a growing reputation for reliable delivery, competitive pricing, and fewer political strings than some competitors. The K-2 tank, K-9 howitzer, and FA-50 light fighter have all sold internationally. The KF-21 would be the premium tier of that export portfolio. This matters for established aerospace powers. Boeing, Lockheed, Dassault, and even Saab now face a credible new competitor in a market segment they've dominated for decades. What comes next is arguably even more significant. Block 2 transforms the KF-21 from a dedicated interceptor into a fully multi-role combat aircraft, adding precision strike, maritime attack, reconnaissance, and broader multi-domain integration. That version of the KF-21 competes in an entirely different league. It positions South Korea not just as a regional defense player, but as a genuine aerospace power capable of sustained innovation across future sixth-generation programs. South Korea has arrived. The KF-21 Boramae, the young eagle, is combat-ready. Its skies are no longer borrowed. And for the Indo-Pacific, a new variable has entered the equation. If you found this breakdown valuable, subscribe for more in-depth coverage of global air power and Indo-Pacific security. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What does a combat-ready KF-21 mean for the regional balance? Let's talk.